Do you ever feel like you're stuck wandering in a maze where you want things to change? You're willing to do so. It just feels like you don't know which path to take next. Yeah, doesn't feel good. But it means you were just like her and you were just like me. Feeling lost isn't a problem, it's a normal part of life. Staying lost is a problem. And millions of people have felt just like you do now, but they found their way out. To do so, you need to understand what the problem actually is in order to solve it. Most people feel lost because they don't have enough information. You don't know the next path you should take. But on top of that, you don't know where to get the information you need to figure out where to go. Not a fun feeling being in the dark. The mistake most people make is they spend an unnecessary amount of time looking inside for the answers when they should venture out to find the light. What do I mean? This reality is simple, really. It's just very uncomfortable. And most people waste time in the lost phase because they're unwilling to sit in that discomfort. Take it from one of the greatest minds of our time. Naval says, all of man's problems arise because he can't sit by himself in a room for 30 minutes. You must be willing to face the discomfort of being lost. And if you are, you can use this framework that Stephanie used to go from helplessly lost to $200,000 worth of clarity. And her story might change your life, or at least make you laugh. This framework is called Ikigai. Stephanie had what most people dream of, a moderate level of fame, attention from people around her, but she lacked meaning and she didn't know where to find it. Ikigai is a Japanese term that translates to a reason for being, and is shown in this Venn diagram here. The four major components of Ikigai are this: something you're good at, something you love, something that pays you well, and something the world needs. To make things interesting, let's play a little game here. Stephanie used this to find the point at which these sections overlap, her Ikigai. As we break this down, if you can guess what her Ikigai was, you get good luck for 7 years. So Stephanie stays in her room and she thinks, I do love protein shakes. First section done. Next, she thinks, I know the world desperately needs to feel connected to something real, which is why the AI girlfriend market is projected to be well over $9 billion by 2028. That also means this can pay well. 2 more checks. And I've been told I can connect and I'm unique. Any guesses on what her Ikigai was? Yup, you're right. She decided to sell her farts in jars and made over $200,000 doing so. Now, I get some of you might be fuming over this being a silly example, but I use it to point out one glaring fact. She made multiple 6 figures selling her farts, and some of you don't even think you can get a job. The rest of this video will be less silly and more actual structure, but the harsh reality is this. Most of you watching this video will stay feeling lost for weeks or months, despite having everything you need to find your path handed to you here. It's like you're lost at sea, and I come flying by in a helicopter and I drop you a ladder. The ladder is this video. All you have to do is grab it and take action, but most won't. So, I decided to do you one a lot better. I don't just have a helicopter and a ladder. I'm on the ladder myself. I'm swooping you off your feet and carrying you to safety. Because after coaching hundreds of individuals through the unknown paths of their lives, I made a guide on helping you find yourself and your next step. And it's 100% free in the Telegram channel linked below. So, watch this video to know how to use the guide. Get the guide from the Telegram and sit in a room with yourself. You deserve to feel what it's like to have direction in your life again. Here's how to avoid most obstacles people naturally run into when they feel lost, and how to shorten the time it takes from being lost to $200,000 worth of fart money. As you go through this guide, your mind will open up to just how many opportunities there are out there for you. That amount of opportunity can be paralyzing to some. The first key is to realize not everything is for you. The Pareto principle states that 80% of outcomes come from 20% of causes. 20% of your choices generate 80% of your happiness in life. We're going to leverage this law so that you can cut out 80% of the noise and focus on walking the few paths that actually lead to where you want to go. And this guide is going to hold your hand through this. Shifting your environment from one of darkness and chaos to one conducive of momentum and progress is one of the greatest accelerators to help you find your way. When you're lost, you grab onto anything you can in hopes that it leads you out. And oftentimes, you grab onto things that lead you deeper into darkness. Finding people and stimuli that are actively moving in a specific, positive direction influences you to do the same. Joining the Telegram linked below offers you a community that does just that. The next note to make is that there is no perfect next step. You sit in the room to find a best guess. From that point on, more analyzing is not finding your way. More advice won't help. More motivation will not help. The real reason most people are lost is because you forgot the learning process that you were born with. You entered this world capable of and honestly knowing close to nothing, but you do know how to learn. You try to walk, you fail, you adjust, you try again. You try to walk, you fail, you adjust, you try again. You are supposed to feel overwhelmed at times. That is a sign that it's time to test your next hypothesis, but most people don't do that. So it's simple, really. Get the guide, sit with yourself to find a path, then start walking. 80% of the clarity that you're looking for comes from that first guess that you take. And look, that first guess might be something you find that you absolutely hate. That is perfectly fine. That eliminates even more options for you, pointing you closer to what you really want. Logically, if you keep moving down this path, making an educated guess, taking the step, iterating, and repeating, it becomes more likely for you to succeed than not. So simply begin, my friend.